There are moments in life when we feel something shifting, but we can't explain why. A restlessness in the air, a sense that we're not walking alone anymore. For the chosen one, these signs are more than coincidence. They're spiritual echoes. You've been walking through storms that others couldn't survive, not realizing that with each step you were sending a frequency into the ether, not with words, but with energy. And that energy became a call. Not everyone heard it, but she did. She, this sacred feminine force, this long-buried energy, was not meant to return to just anyone. She waited for something true, something uncorrupted. While others performed rituals and begged for power, you healed. While others cursed the darkness, you became light. It was never about summoning her. It was about becoming the key. And that's what you did, without even knowing. Your pain shaped you. Your silence refined you. Your truth unlocked her. Real-life examples exist if you look closely. Those who have felt an inexplicable pull toward healing, toward wisdom, toward breaking generational cycles. Those sudden awakenings? That's her influence. The return has already begun in small, subtle ways. She shows herself in synchronicities, in dreams, in sudden bursts of intuition. When you spoke words of truth that shocked even yourself, that was her voice through you. When you forgave when others sought revenge, that was her grace returning through your heart. But here's the deeper truth. She's not just returning to help you. She's returning because of you. Your soul's frequency pierced through barriers of time and space. The universe took notice. And now, the divine feminine force that was once silenced by fear, hunted by history, erased by empires, she returns in fullness, walking beside you. Let this sink in. Let it challenge what you thought was possible. And let us know in the comments. Have you noticed her presence in your life? When did it begin? For generations, there was a force they couldn't control, so they tried to erase her. Not with fire, but with forgetting. They buried her story in myths, renamed her as a danger, called her temptation, destruction, weakness. They feared her power, because it could not be bought. It could not be tamed. She represented truth, and truth threatened systems built on illusion. But no matter how many times they erased her, she waited until a soul like yours would rise. You see, she is not a woman in flesh, but a divine archetype. She is the soul of forgotten wisdom, the fire of sacred intuition, the voice that echoes in every dream you've had, where you felt something greater calling you. They labeled her witch, whore, madwoman, not because she was those things, but because she could not be controlled. And now, because of your awakening, she has a channel again. She lives in your voice. When you speak truth, others are afraid to say. Look around. Many of you are feeling a strange energy, an urge to break free from systems that once felt safe, a craving to sit in silence instead of chase attention, a rejection of artificial paths in favor of something raw, ancient, real. This isn't rebellion. This is remembrance. Her energy lives in the people who are done pretending, in those who choose healing over hiding, in the souls who finally say, I don't care if I'm misunderstood. I must be me. And here's the twist. They tried to bury her, but they planted her instead. And now, through you, she blooms. So if you've ever felt too emotional, too intuitive, too intense, know this. Those were never flaws. Those were signs of her within you. It's time to reclaim that. If this speaks to you, comment, I reclaim all of me. And don't forget to like and subscribe. This journey is just beginning. Out of millions, why you? Why now? Because only the wounded can birth new worlds. Only the broken-hearted can rebuild with empathy. You didn't choose this path. It chose you. Your soul carries codes, memories, ancient truths that are reawakening. That's why you've always felt different, misfit, misplaced. The truth is, you're not from here. You were sent here, and your very essence was the ignition key. You've walked through betrayals that would have destroyed others. You've trusted when you had every reason not to. You loved when your heart was torn. That's what made you magnetic to her. She did not return to those who shouted for her. She returned to the one who suffered in silence but still remained kind. That is spiritual strength. And that is what lit the signal. This isn't about perfection. It's about alignment. Your scars became sacred. Your tears became baptism. And through that, you became the mirror she could recognize herself in. That's why you feel things others don't. That's why you sense things before they happen. You weren't going crazy. You were becoming ready. And now that you are, she can move through you, speak through you, restore through you. Let that land. Let it remind you that nothing you've been through was wasted. She waited for someone who could hold her without fear. And that someone is you. So tell us in the comments, what have you endured that you now understand was preparation? Your story matters. Let your voice be heard. You'll know she has entered your life when the things that once comforted you begin to lose their taste. The conversations that once entertained you now feel empty. The people who once felt like home begin to feel like cages. This is not depression. This is not disconnection. This is her presence rewiring your soul, detaching you from illusions so you can step into deeper truth. Her return is not always gentle. It disrupts what no longer serves your higher path. The emotions may flood you without warning. Old wounds resurface. Dreams intensify. You'll feel her in the soft, still hours of the night when your spirit can no longer sleep through its own awakening. You'll crave solitude, but not because you're lonely. You'll crave it because your soul is meeting someone it hasn't seen for lifetimes. Her. Her energy doesn't shout. It whispers. And when you truly begin to listen, the world around you begins to change. Real-world signs are everywhere. You may begin noticing symbols, owls, moons, serpents, or sudden sightings of butterflies at the most emotional moments. You may begin to attract people who mirror the lessons you've been avoiding. Or you may suddenly lose everything that's not aligned. It's not punishment, it's purification. When she returns, she cleanses with fire and with love. She removes the noise so you can hear the truth. Do not run from these signs. Embrace them. Journal your experiences. Share your story below. What synchronicities have you experienced recently? Has something or someone been trying to reach you through symbols, dreams, or energy shifts? Your voice could unlock someone else's awareness. Like, subscribe, and stay with us as this journey deepens. Many think that when the divine feminine returns, it will be a soft, romantic reunion. But her return is not made of rose petals and lullabies. It is thunder shaking the foundations. She returns with a sword in one hand and healing in the other. She returns to break chains, not just light candles. And the revolution begins within you. When she re-enters your life, expect confrontations with yourself, your patterns, and your pain. This is the stage where relationships crumble, not because you've failed, but because you've evolved. Friends will misunderstand you. Lovers may grow distant. Your career might no longer fit your spirit. She demands authenticity, not comfort. When her energy rises within you, you begin to shed every version of yourself that was built to please, to conform, to survive. And what's left is truth, unapologetic, unshakable, divine. You might feel guilt. You might feel lost, because society taught you that your worth is tied to others' approval. But she comes to remind you that your power lies in your presence, your being, not your performance. You were never meant to be palatable. You were meant to be powerful. And the world is finally ready for the version of you that no longer asks for permission. So let this be your permission slip. Step into your revolution. Let us know in the comments. What have you outgrown that you're finally ready to release? This is your space to be seen. Like, subscribe, and continue walking with us. Your transformation is a signal to the world. This isn't your first meeting. You've crossed paths with her before, in other lives, in dreams, in realms your conscious mind cannot recall. There's a reason her energy feels familiar. When she returns to you now, it's not a beginning. It's a continuation, a rekindling of a sacred contract made before this lifetime. You promised to carry truth. She promised to protect you. And now, the time has come to fulfill that vow. You may feel flashes of lives you've never lived, sudden emotions that don't seem to belong to your current story, memories of ancient places, an inexplicable fear of fire, or a magnetic pull to water. These are echoes of your past alignments with her. Perhaps you were a healer once burned for her wisdom. Perhaps you were a priestess silenced for speaking in her voice. The pain lives in your soul memory, but so does the power. Her return now is a reward for your soul's persistence. In a world that tried to strip you of magic, you held on to wonder. In a life that tried to label you crazy, you chose courage. These are not small things. These are signs that you kept your promise. And now, she's keeping hers. She comes to restore what was taken, to crown what was crushed, to awaken what was buried. This reunion is sacred. Feel it. Honor it. Share in the comments. Do you feel like you've known this energy before? What past life patterns do you sense in yourself? Your insights could resonate with others walking the same mystical path. Don't just watch this. Be part of the return. Like, subscribe, and stay with us. Your remembering is part of our collective rising. Her return through you marks the beginning of something even greater, the rise of sacred union. This is not just about feminine energy. It's about balance. The masculine within you must now rise to meet the feminine in sacred wholeness. Action must meet intuition. Logic must meet feeling. Discipline must embrace surrender. This union within you will reshape how you relate to the world, to others, to purpose. Expect your creativity to explode. Your voice will strengthen. Your visions will become clearer. But so will your boundaries. The return of her energy makes you unshakable, not because you fight harder, but because you stand softer. You don't chase anymore. You attract. You don't perform. You exist. And your existence becomes the portal through which divine energy flows into everything you touch. You'll start building differently, creating with soul, loving with truth. You'll be drawn to sacred relationships, not perfect ones, but purposeful ones. People will come who recognize your light without needing explanation. Opportunities will find you, not because of hustle, but because of alignment. This is the reward. Not a crown on your head, but peace in your spirit. Not validation, but vision. So what happens now? You live in remembrance. You become the return. And you light the path for others. Share your experience. Leave your truth in the comments below, like if you feel the shift. Subscribe if you're ready to walk in union. This is the new age, and you, chosen one, are the living proof that the forgotten feminine never truly disappeared. She was just waiting for you to remember. Chosen one. The truth is, you didn't just trigger her return, you were the return. You were the gate, the vessel, the prophecy made flesh. You carried the key within you through every heartbreak, every exile, every betrayal. And now that the door is open, it cannot be closed. You are not the same person you were before hearing this message, and you will never be again. She walks with you now, not ahead, not behind, but within. In your decisions, in your dreams, in your declarations, your journey will still carry trials, but not without tools. Challenges will come, but so will clarity. You've inherited her fire, her grace, her vision, and the world will never be the same because of it. So ask yourself one final question today. What if this wasn't just a message, but a mission? What if this is the moment your soul has been waiting for across lifetimes? What if you are the prophecy returning to wake the sleeping world? Drop your answer in the comments. Speak your truth. And if this message touched even a fragment of your soul, let it ripple. Like this video, subscribe to Chosen Destiny, and share it with someone else who might be the key. The return has begun, and it's only you who could ever trigger it.